Today on Contractor Fight TV, I am going to talk about 5 ways that you, yes you my friend, can make money on your very first project as a home improvement contractor. Let's go. All right, so many people that watch this channel are just starting out in business. They've gone out on their own, they've saved some money, and they've started a business. They got their logo and they got a website and they got this and that, and the phone's gonna ring, and you're eventually gonna go out and you are going to attempt to sell your first project. And then if you get the job, you're gonna hope that things work out so that on the other end of the project, you've made some damn money. And today I'm gonna give you 5 ways to ensure that happens for you on your first job. The reason I'm doing this video is so many contractors come to us after many years of getting punched in the nads over and over and over and over. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's never a good thing when your nads are out there and someone's just doing that to them. That should just say it all right there. I got Logan behind the camera cracking up. He's shaking his head. He's like, I can't believe you did that. But that's really what it is, you guys. And far too many of you are so far into this game, you've dug a huge hole for yourself financially, and now you're going to spend months and years trying to climb out of it, when if you would have had this video from day one, you probably wouldn't be in that situation. Right, so the first thing I want to talk about for you to make sure you make money on your first project and not get your butt kicked is you must tell yourself the right story about success. Many contractors come out of the gate, they feel like I'm brand new. I don't have enough experience or whatever it might be. My background's this and that, don't have the education. I don't deserve to be successful. And I'm here to tell you right now, you have every right to win. You have every right to succeed regardless of your age, your skin color, your orientations, your gender, your experience, your background. If you are willing to get better, pay the price, put in the work, and earn those wins, you have every right to win regardless of where you're at. Far too many contractors go out into the sales arena and they start their own business and they feel like, oh, I got to put in 15 years before I'm allowed to succeed, and that's bullshit. As long as you got the friendly fire under control and you're not sabotaging yourself, you're ethical, you got some integrity, you're doing things right, you keep chipping away to get better, that's earning success. Now notice I said you have every right to win, but you're not guaranteed it. You have to pay a price. Not everyone just gets a damn trophy here in business. But if you're watching this, I'm willing to roll the dice and say that you're the type of person that wants to earn your success. And I'm here to tell you right now, you get this first thing down, everything else is much easier. Number 2, you must tell yourself the right story about money. Your business exists for 2 reasons. Number 1, to meet a need. Number 2, it's to make money. And you need to make as much money as you can so you can reinvest back into your business and be able to grow your business and grow your team, invest in your team so you can continue to meet more needs in the world. I mean, how many people, if you went out and polled 1,000 people in your city right now and said, hey, scale of 1 to 10, how shitty are most contractors? A lot of people would have not too many good things to say about contractors, which is why you need to be in business. It's why you need to meet needs, get paid, invest in the company, and build your company to have the biggest impact possible because you're a good human being. Well, it takes money to do that. Things cost what they cost. And so if you're going out there right now thinking to yourself, oh man, I need to be competitive on this bid so I can get the job because it's my first job, that's a bullshit way of thinking about money. It's like you're in a rowboat and you take out your drill, a nice big bit on it, and you start drilling holes in your boat. That's what you do when you think you haven't had enough time in the game to be able to make money. Hopefully that makes sense. Last thing I want to say about getting the story right in your mind about money. All right, number 1, we didn't make the rules, but it takes money to make the world go around. Your job is, number 1, make sure that you know your numbers so that you can price your work to deliver high value, high quality for whatever the hell it costs so that you can stay in business and make money. And the final thing with this, the story you must tell yourself, it is not my job to find the client's money. How many times, I know I have, how many times you sat there before you hit send or before a price comes out of your mouth and you start second guessing it going, they'll never go for this. All right? That is bullshit, self-sabotaging thinking. And I'm telling you right now, your job is to know your industry, know your numbers, deliver high value, high quality, and whatever the price tag is, that's the price tag. It is now in their court to either move ahead with you or not. Don't fall victim to this whole BS story that most people tell themselves about money. The third way you can make sure you're going to make money on your first job and every job after that, get your paperwork in order, your contracts, the scopes of work, expectations about quality. Have conversations with your prospects about these things. The way we always have done it in our company in the past was if it is not specifically listed in the scope of work, it ain't included, period. A lot of you guys are shooting yourselves in the foot because you're not taking the time and making the financial investment to work with a construction attorney, somebody who's make sure that your contracts are dialed in, that you're protected. We spend so much time trying to get leads, trying to get sales that we often don't give enough attention to things like playing good defense, right? Having great insurance in place, having your contracts that are solid and things like that, payment terms, blah, blah, blah. Get your contracts dialed in, get your paperwork dialed in, and you're more likely to make money consistently on every job. This is Game Changer, and I have a little resource for you here. I want you to go to thecontractorfight.com/50. The fourth thing here, guys, is pre-job cost the project. So what that means is before you go and sell a job for whatever amount, make sure you run the pricing through the 50% sheet that we've given you here as a resource. It's totally free. Just download it, go grab it. This is how much time you think it's going to take. This is how much materials, this and that. It does the math for you. Don't sell it for a dime less than what this sheet calculates. When you pre-job cost a project, it means, hey, I'm going to plug in everything that I think is going to happen. It's going to spit out a price. Then I'm going to think about that price. And I'm going to go, is that worth the squeeze? Is the juice going to be worth the squeeze on this job with the risks involved? The PETA factor, that's pain in the ass factor, right, of a client and all these different things, all right? You have to get your emotions out of the estimating process. Your emotions will lie to you. Your feelings will lie. Oh, she's a cute little old granny and she doesn't have a lot of money. You don't fucking know how much money that old lady's got in the bank, so quit feeding that bullshit to yourself. Get your emotions out of this. If you want to do a charity job, then do a damn charity job and call it a charity job and don't charge anything for it if you really want to help somebody out. But if you ain't doing that, it's your duty to get your emotions out of this thing, price your work to make money, because the math does not lie. Pre-job cost the job before you send the price to the customer. Make sure that, hey, if everything goes as planned, this is the price and the profit we're going to make. And then you got to have some contingency in there because things rarely go as planned. And this sheet gives you the opportunity to realize all that stuff before you start getting punched in the goners. Number 5, create your job completion plan. Many contractors actually sell the job at the correct margins. Then when it comes time to produce the job and they do the project and several weeks or months later the job is done, and then they look at it and they go, I didn't make any money on this thing. The problem wasn't what you sold it at. The problem was the way you executed the job. You must take some time to map out each project with your team. Day 1, this is where we need to be. Day 2, this is where we need to be. Okay? And so on throughout the length of the project. This is a place that you assign time to tasks, which you should be doing in the estimating process. You should be assigning certain things on the job to certain people and give them the responsibility to hit those times. And your job, after you pre-plan this project like this and map it out, is to make sure that it happens that way. Well, another big mistake contractors make is they'll set up the guys on the job, here's the scope, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. They don't have any more communication. And then the job gets done, they screwed the pooch, they're way over the budgeted hours, and everything's a mess, and you didn't make any money because you didn't have eyes on the project and on the team and managing those things every single day. One of the things that we did is that every day we would check in. What did I say there? Every day. Every day. One more time for the people way back in the cheap seats. Every day. You pick up your phone. You send a text or make a phone call to your crew leader or your foreman, and you go, hey, where are we at? That was our question. Where are we at? And what that meant to everybody in the company is we were really asking, are you on track to finish on time, on budget, great experience, happy homeowner, all that other bullshit? Okay? These are things you need to train your people on, how to have these conversations. Make no assumptions that the job is just going to work out because you sold it at the right job or right price and you gave a scope of work. You have to put your attention to this, or your operations manager, or whatever position you have in your company. It's a simple check-in. Hey, Billy, how are we doing on the job out there? Are we on track to finish on time? Hey, we're a few hours behind because we ran into this issue, but I have a plan to make up the time throughout the rest of the week. We will finish on time Friday by 4 o'clock and get a check. Pay attention to these things. Let me recap these real quick. Tell yourself the right story about success. You got to tell yourself the right story about money. Get your paperwork in order, pre-job cost the project with the 50% sheet that we have here for you that you can grab in the description, and create your job completion plan and finish that thing. See it all the way through and finish. Don't allow yourself to get pulled to all these other projects and now you got 18 open-ended projects out there. Finish, then move on to the next one. Hopefully you found something here helpful to you to make some more money, even if it's not your first project. Even if you've been in the game for a while and you haven't been doing these things, start now and right now, today. Call this day one of the real way you're going to run your business going forward, and I promise your bank account will reflect this in a positive way. You guys rock. I got to roll. I'm out.